Welcome to the Cardano Sense Daily DC Fund Show, where we look at least 3 funds a day that are trying to get funded by Cardano in the community through the DC Fund program. My name is Anthony. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build up a little bit of a base so that I can go live with these instead of doing this like recording every day. I'd like to talk to people about the proposals rather than just kind of give my opinion all the time. All right, this show is sponsored by my website here. So this is the CardanoFund.com website. I built this website so you could go and look at some of the projects without having to log in. So if you see, you just kind of go to funds here. We just click developer ecosystem, and these are all the funds. You just go ahead and click on one, and the fund comes right up. And if you would like to go to the original idea scale link where this fund was originally created, you can just click right here in idea scale, and it will take you right to their link in idea scale. The show is also funded by my Stakepool, the SOPHi Stakepool. We're doing pretty good, 103% luck. We've made 89 blocks since the beginning, since day one of staking. We're a small pool. We only have about 500,000. So if you'd like to support the show, the best way to support it would really be to delegate to my SOPHi Stakepool, named after my daughter. Okay, let's get into the show here. It's called State of the Fund. So we're in Fund 4. Fund 4. So there's 7 active campaigns in Fund 4. Each campaign gets a certain amount of money. All right, so we'll go through them really quick here. Developer ecosystem, dApps and integration. These two have come over from previous funds, and they're getting the bulk of the funding. I think between these two, it's either 600, or 700,000 of the $1 million that's going out this funding round. Then we have distributed decision making. How can we help Catalyst community to get better at the distributed decision making within the next 2 Catalyst rounds? Prosper outreach. How can we encourage entrepreneurs from outside the Cardano ecosystem to submit proposals to Catalyst in the next 2 funds? Catalyst value onboarding. How can we encourage more meaningful participation in Project Catalyst from the community members in the next 2 rounds? And the last one, local community centers. How can we mobilize the community to solve local problems using Cardano through a local community center model supported by the CF, which is the Cardano Foundation? This is actually the one we're going to look at. So far, we've been looking at all dApps and developer stuff because that's the only thing that's been getting funded up until this round. So I picked 3 projects out. 2 of them are similar, and we'll talk about them. Now, essentially, this is something the Cardano Foundation wants to kind of get behind. Okay, so let's take a look at the first project here. And this first project is called Bring Cardano to the Unbanked. Okay. What's the problem? Banks underserve low communities, leaving some to rely on 3% fees on average to cash their paychecks or government benefit checks. And the solution they have is establish deposit centers to accept payroll, government checks at no fee and return in ADA or USD. Financed by staking by rewards on the ADA grant. I think what Kylie is talking about here is, but you open up a staking pool, and then you get the staking pool. You get rewards, and if you run a staking pool as a stake pool operator, you get a little extra. So what she is saying here, if you read through the rest of it, I'm not going to read through the whole thing, is let's get rid of these 3% fees by opening a staking pool. Have Cardano Foundation delegated to it. So Cardano Foundation has millions and hundreds of millions of ADA. So what she's saying is have Cardano Foundation delegate to this and then use the proceeds to take care of these fees. Well, first of all, let's talk about the 3% fee. That's kind of average, I think. I'm here in Connecticut in the United States, and look, if you don't have a bank account, you're going to cash your check. There's always going to be a fee. Now, I mean, businesses have to make money, so there's always going to be something. And 3%, I think, is kind of about average. So, this is not like taking advantage of people. I guess that's the only point I want to make. As far as using the proceeds from the pool, that's a good idea. The only issue with that is that there's going to come a time when the proceeds from the pool it's not going to be enough to cover the 3% fee, right? So if this gets really big, then more and more people come, and we'll be able to cover up to a certain amount of fees, and then that'll kind of cut off at that point. The other thing is that I think what Callie is thinking here is that, well, this is not taking any money out of away from the Cardano Foundation because they're staking and we're using the rewards that are coming in. The issue is the Cardano Foundation is staking right now, so and the rewards that are coming in they're keeping for themselves. So this would kind of be this would take some money away from the Cardano Foundation. I like the sentiment of this idea, but I don't know. I'm interested to see what the Cardano Foundation thinks of this idea. There's not a whole lot of ideas in this campaign. There's only 15, so it has a good chance of possibly getting funded. Okay, let's move on to the next project, which is called, it's similar to the one we just looked at, which is called ADA in CIS Exchangers Online Stores. So first of all, with this project, I don't know what CIS is, and I don't know if it's just me, but I had to look this up. So I think just as a general rule, when it comes to proposals, just assume no one knows what you're talking about for the most part, right? Excuse my voice too, I'm a little sick today. No, just assume no one knows what you're talking about and kind of explain it, because I had to look this up. I had no clue, but evidently this means Commonwealth of Independent States. So these are areas of what used to be the Soviet Union. Okay. So whoops, that is the last one. Sneak peek. Okay, let's get back to this. Problem statement. Every user that spends $1,000 on cryptocurrency purchases loses about 15 to 35 as a stock exchange commission. And she has a bunch of links here. She does a real good job of pointing this out and kind of showing where the commission is. She also kind of compares to over here, I think. I've looked through all these links. That's not the one. It's a different one. Let's see. I'm not going to... If this isn't it, I'll just, yeah, okay, so she compares two and how one's less than the other. But again, when I look at this, if you're trying to get $1,000 in cryptocurrency, right, a 1.5, that's not even 1 point, yeah, well, no, it's less than that. It is 0.15 or 0.3%. It's not, I mean, it's not even 3%, it's 0.015 to 0.03, so that's like 3%, right? Am I doing that? I'm sorry, I'm a little sick. My math is wrong. I guess my point is here is that these are the normal fees. If you go on most places where you try to get cryptocurrency and you're going to use a credit card and they're using a credit card, this 3% is normal. That 1.5% would be really good. 3% is normal. So I don't know. I don't know if this is an issue because you have to think again. Everything just can't be free, like people have to make money if they have businesses. And, when you get into cryptocurrency, if you're going to get $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency, again, spending $15 to $35 for that is kind of normal. And she kind of lays out the proposal like this is a problem up in the CIS countries, but I mean, you have to do this here too. If you find little ways to work around this, like if you have a bank account and you can transfer money from one bank to another bank, and you can find banks that do that with no fees, and then transfer into an exchange. Like I use crypto.com, and I can transfer money from my bank to crypto.com. It doesn't cost me anything. But if I'm going to use a credit card, it's going to cost a fee. The credit card company has to make money, and some of these places will actually just port over the fee. Right? They don't make any money on the. They just port over what the credit card wants and passes it down to the credit card. So I don't know if this is really an issue that can be solved. Let's see here. The solution. We need to convince each exchange and online store to use ADA on their site. It allows to save $15 to $30 for every 1,000 spent. Again, even if someone uses ADA to buy stuff, the company has to exchange that, and there's always an exchange rate. So we'll follow this proposal and see how it goes. And again, we're still in early days here. So the author, Alexei, I don't want to butcher that name. it still has time to change this. So we'll see how this goes. And as comments come in, we can check back. People comment on the bottom. So she does have a lot of supporting documents. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We're kind of in overtime here. So let's move on to the last proposal. Whoops, there we go. That's the wrong one. Nope, there we go. Okay. Now this last proposal is called Venture Activation Centers. Now this is really interesting because, so part of this project that they're supposed to be doing with local community centers is help to open up local community centers or get kind of community together and build a community, right? This proposal, there's like nothing here, right? Let's see the problem statement. Good people do good, but many don't get the support and membership that enables them to start and scale the good. Describe your solution. Cardano Activation Toolbox delivering resilient well-being in New Zealand using watch, try, teach model to gain adoption and community-led innovation. Okay, and that's the whole proposal. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Then I clicked here to this link, and it has a great write-up on a center in New Zealand here. Obviously, I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but on a center in New Zealand here that's helping the community through entrepreneurship. And it's just, I read through this whole thing, and it's great. What I think he should do is pick parts of this, he or she, I'm not sure who the proposer is, but they should pick parts of this and put it in the proposal. Because I think the Cardano Foundation would, I mean, this is a good thing. I would vote on this to help continue to fund something like this that's already there. So I hope that that they take a look at this and maybe come back and decide to Joe. Okay, Joe. So hopefully Joe will come back and take a look at this and maybe take some of that and post it here. Because unless you click on this link, which a lot of people don't, a lot of people just look at this proposal like this and see like 3 lines and they'll just pass right by it. So hopefully Joe comes and fixes this up again. We have another week or so to get that done. Okay, I'm going to show kind of a meme I made. Let's see. I'm going to start a new segment called Charles in Charge. Whenever Charles has something to say on his AMA or something exciting to say. So I created this meme, and for those of you who know Charles's history, you might like it. Let me show it to you here.
Like he's one of the family. Charles in charge of our days and our nights. Charles in charge of our wrongs and our rights.
Shut the hell up, Ted. It's morning.
I thought that was pretty funny. I made that the other day. I heard that song Charles in Charge, and it just stuck in my head. And then I saw the original Charles in Charge is from that sitcom, and the sitcom, yeah, it is what it is. It's a pretty bad sitcom, but then I forgot that they did it on Scrubs, so that just fit in perfect. So I took a couple hours the other day and just made that. I think it's pretty funny. So I was just going to show that to you. I don't have anything really to go over from Charles today. And as far as the community goes, you know what? I like I said, I've been a little sick, so I haven't really been involved as much as I'd like. So I think we're just going to go to the big ending, which is not a big ending. I'm going to start calling this the anti-ending, I think, because I don't really do anything. So everyone have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.